Hey team, here's a quick crash course on ICF construction. There's Nick lasering in the second row of blocks. You want to set your first row, interlock your second row, and then laser that in perfectly so that you have a flat surface to work off for the rest of the layers. So after you get your second row lasered in nice, then you're going to want to spray foam the underside of those gaps. So you kind of got to do some shimming, make sure that if your footing was off, you got those first two rows perfectly level, and then spray foam it so nothing moves or settles later. So as you can see, everything interlocks. These are just big Lego blocks. It's quite fun. You can flip them, rotate them, and they still interlock as long as you have a factory edge to factory edge. So then you proceed to cut in for your T intersections, and then every wall is going to have a butt joint, basically where you work your way from your corners to your interior, and then you're going to have a spot where it doesn't line up. So you make your cuts, and then you have to spray foam that joint and then brace it later. So there's a turnbuckle. That's a little device that goes on your brace, and then that allows you to turn your braces in or out to get plumb. Now this is just a little homemade bracket that I have, and it's a corner brace for whaler bar for conventional forming, and I just welded up a little piece of bar on there as a gusset, and we got an instant walkway system. So it was quick and easy for us to build on another project, and we don't have to rent the aluminum system that they try to sell you for when you get the block. So just a redneck ingenuity there. There's a look at the pin going in to hold the turnbuckle brace, and we just cut 10 footers for the verticals, and those get screwed into the ribs. So the rib system is that interior plastic grid that you see, and so that's for attaching all your drywall and any exterior stuff later. So those ribs do serve more of a purpose, just more than strength, to hold the foam together, but it also serves a purpose as to attach things later. So you do have to stagger these blocks. You start in your corner, and then you flip your corner because there's a short side and a long side for your corner, and then you stagger the joints. That way the interlocking system spans the joints. And then we also have these metal clips that clip the lower row to the above row. So we're constantly clipping these rows together so they don't lift off during the pour. All the horizontal rebar is being clipped in and placed in each row as we go, and all the vertical rebar will just be dropped in at the end and tied at the top. There was a few vertical bars with 90s in them in the footing, and that's to hold it down to the footing. So on the top row, there's going to be a row of king blocks, they're called, and they just have a wider mouth on the top. So to give a little bit more structure and support, here's a look at those king blocks there. So just a little bit wider mouth and room for anchor bolts. There's a knockout for the garage. That'll all get backfilled later. And yeah, very cool system, guys. Really like doing ICF. There's some zip ties for those staggered joints. Have a good day.